All right. Thank you all for being here with us today for the Geese Online Masters in Management or iMSM webinar. My name is Marcus Phillips. I'm one of the Associate Directors for Geese Graduate Programs. I'll be your presenter tonight. We have a lot of information to cover. I'm joined by my awesome colleague, Lori Hayes, who will be answering questions in the Q&A. So if you can be so kind, if you do have questions, be sure to put those questions in the Q&A. And then I think Lori put in there where folks are arriving from. And I see people are, well, of course, Lori is from Bend, Oregon. We have folks here from Chicago, Germany. Feel free to add where you're coming from. We love to see the array of people and locations. Boulder, Colorado. I've never been. Mexico City. So two locations I would love to join one day. Both actually on my bucket list of places to visit. So yeah, continue to add your location. That is great. In the meantime, if you do have questions, you can scan the code to connect with our team. So the barcode that is on the screen, you can scan that if you do have questions for us. And thankfully, um, we will be joined by a current student. Um, and so I'm going to have the current student just introduce themselves and just let the folks know where you're from, how far along are you in the iMSM program, and anything else you want to add. But those two things, where you're from and how far along are you in the program. So, Patma, if you want to go ahead and answer those questions, that'd be great for the audience. I can't hear you. If you're having some technical difficulties, I'll go ahead and move along. But as you get your tech issues worked out, feel free to interject. Yeah, go ahead and rejoin, and then we get you in the fold. And so, again, thank you all for being here today for the iMSM webinar. For those of you who missed the introduction, my name is Marcus Phillips. I'm one of the associate directors for Geese graduate programs. And so today I'm going to just talk a little bit about University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign in general, the Gies College of Business, Gies Business Online, and then we're going to kind of go through like a little program overview. I touched a little bit on the curriculum and content, application tips and tricks, and then Q&A. And so we have a little bit less than an hour to get through all this information. Um, but we will have time towards the end to answer any questions that you may have that you weren't unable to ask in the Q&A. And again, if you do have questions, feel free to add those questions in the Q&A, and my wonderful colleague Lori Hayes will be able to answer those questions, or I can answer those questions live. And so I just wanted to touch on why the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, definitely a very, very powerful institution, pretty prestigious institution, the flagship institution in the state of Illinois. A land grant institution, so that means access is pretty big for us. That's part of the mission of a land grant opportunity is access and opportunity, and so that kind of ties into really the price point of our online MSM program, which I'll get to later on. We want to make sure that high quality education is accessible to as many people as possible. As you can see, there are several accolades that are listed. I won't go through each one, but we have a very, very strong reputation, not only in academia, but in industry as well. And so our students, most of them are working professionals, but when they do graduate with that degree from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, um, that kind of resonates with quality, right? And so we take a lot of pride in the quality of our programs. And so a massive amount of dollars flow in and out of our university, about $642 million in research dollars. And so our professors, our faculty um, are well connected within industry and do a lot of research and a lot of work. Not obviously not only for students, but for industry as well. And so again, this is rated #1 for most disability-friendly campus in the U.S. So it kind of adds to that access piece there. And then there's a large number of alumni worldwide. And um, so you will be no shortage of connecting with alumni for the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. But why choose the Gies College of Business? I mean, that's mainly why most of you are here is, looking at potentially starting this iMSM program. But, part of that is, we have a very strong College of Business, has, very reputable business school as well, have some top-notch faculty. We have a very innovative dean that's shown on the screen, Dean Brown. He was pretty much one of the deans that disrupted the industry when it came to price point for our online degree programs. And part of that was our MBA was the 2022 MBA Program of the Year by Poets and Quants. He was a Dean of the Year. And so we put a lot of emphasis on innovation, right? And so Dean Brown has been kind of like the forefront of the innovation at our college. And I'll talk about one innovation here shortly within the online programs. And so, but within the Gies Business Alumni Network, there's over 79,000 um, people, alumni, right? And so, of course, you have a large alumni base in university, but you still have a large base within the Gies College of Business as well. And so there's kind of 3 pillars to our Gies Business online programs, and we started in 2016 online with our MBA. So it wasn't like we just threw together our online program because of the pandemic. And so I think that's something you want to think about looking at institutions um, that have a strong infrastructure in place. It wasn't like like I said, through our curriculum or just degree just online just because of the pandemic. And so yeah, we started in 2016 was when we first started with our online MBA. And so we invested millions of dollars within technology, within the classroom, and I kind of touch on the classroom later in the presentation. And so I feel like that's something that stands out is our online by design. We wanted to make sure it's flexible for our students. Majority of our students are working professionals. We'll talk about kind of like the intake dates. And then the stackability, that was one innovation. We felt like you can stack, uh, your coursework, into certificates and degree programs, which I will touch on here as well. And as you can see on this screen, there's like a little diagram of stackable build through the Gies College of Business. And so, just starting off, what we do is we try to meet you where you are, your educational journey, right? And so that goes back to that flexibility. And so, just for an example, you may be a student who is ready to jump right into this iMSM program, which is awesome. Or you may not have that time commitment. You may want to start off with one of our graduate certificates. You can certainly do so. And then the coursework that are in those grad certificates, you can stack into the degree program. Or you may be a person that says, you know what, I just really want to try a free online course. We partner with Coursera to offer these massive open courses and online open courses. And so you can take a free online course, kind of like at your own pace. And you can stack that piece into the 4 credit course or the high engagement component, which I'll touch on here shortly. And then as you can see, it just builds up. And so, again, we try to reach you at your educational journey. And so the stackable build is important. So you're not necessarily forced to start off in an iMSM degree program, but if you'd like to, that's totally fine. I'm going to pause for a quick second. Padma, you think you're good to go from a technology standpoint?
Yes, I'm here.
Also, go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and how far along are you in the program? It's good
Hi
to see you
guys.
again.
Yes, hi guys. This is Padmachana. I'm a current student, but actually I graduated iMSM this spring. I started my MSM program last spring 2022, and I graduated. I took 12 months to finish my program, and then I graduated this May 2023. I took the option of stacking on the whatever Marcus was trying to explain. I took the stackable option, and then currently I'm into MBA program as well. Planning to graduate by next May 2024. So far so good.
Awesome. And we'll touch on this later on, but I know you were heavily involved with the GBA.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And can you explain what that means, if you don't mind?
IGBA is I Degree Graduate Business Association. Earlier it was a Students Association. Now it is a registered Students Association, wherein we become the bridge between the administration and the students. We try to communicate all the requirements, and then we become the bridge between the administration and the students to take their thoughts, their difficulties, their requirements to the administration and make it happen. And I currently serve as a VP for diversity, equity, and inclusion, wherein I have 5 different committees that I control, and then I manage different aspects of diversity, equity, and inclusion among the students.
Thank you for that. It'd be
Mhm.
hard pressed to find a registered student organization in an online
Yes,
program, graduate program.
it's
So
pretty new. It's was it registered last year, 2020, end of the 2022. So it's pretty new, but we are doing a very good job compared to that.
yes, they are an awesome group, and we'll touch a little bit later on about iConverge and how they were present at iConverge and the level of engagement. So, Padma, thank you so much, and I will have some more questions later throughout the presentation, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yes, sure.
So, not to talk about earlier the graduate certificates. These are just a list. I wanted to have a list of grad certificates we have available. As you can see, there's quite a few, and so we try to cover a lot within the business world. And so, like I said before, if you were not interested in, if you were hesitant in starting the iMSM program, you feel like, okay, I need maybe start off in a grad certificate, you can certainly do so. It's a brief application process, and again, they're stackable into any I degree, or it can, it stands on its own as well. And so, transcriptable certificate as well. And so, just wanted to share about our grad certificates. So, what is a management degree? Um, you know, I feel like, and probably feel free to chime in as well from a student perspective. I feel like it does provide you the tools to kind of like speak the language of business and kind of like build that confidence to like read those balance sheets, marketing plans, if you're in the boardroom or what have you. And so we really try to carefully curate, the curriculum and try to really pair it with experiences that you feel like will uplift you and impact like your career. And of course, it's going to provide those essential business management skills. And again, it's designed for working professionals. It can be entering just new into the workforce. I know we have students who may be 22. We have a student that was 72. And so it can be a range, of students involved in the program. And again, it's kind of meeting you where you're at. And again, like I mentioned earlier, the curriculum is built for practical application to really make that immediate impact. And Papa, did you feel like the classes, what you learned in the classes, did you feel like you were able to take that theory and apply it immediately at your job?
Yes, definitely. That's the one thing that I really love about the program. The curriculum is very current, and whatever we learn in the program, that can be immediately applied to our work, everyday work. And definitely, the courses are designed in such a way they are revised every now and then. And so you don't see that the course is very outdated and you cannot apply it to the workforce. So as it is current, it actually is curated according to the current needs. So whatever we learn, we immediately can use it to our everyday today jobs. And I see that there is a question, what kind of hardships have you seen among IMBA, IMSA, and MSM students? I definitely say this. The first thing when we enroll into the program, we feel pretty excited, pumped up to join the course. And then I have seen students taking 2 courses, 3 courses at a time. And then they feel burned out because these courses are pretty fast paced, 8 weeks long, and the things are so fast paced that you need time to adjust. So initially, when you tend to take more than one course, you feel burned out, and that more demotivates you. So the one thing that I have seen is this is common thing, but if my suggestion is take one course at a time, adjust to the because a lot of things happen. You will be overwhelmed with the kind of applications you use. There is Coursera, there is live videos, there is workplace, there is a lot of things that you need to adjust. So my suggestion is to don't feel overwhelmed when you're in the program. Take one course at a time, adjust to the environment, everything, get used to the fact that you are going to be a student, full-time student, along with everything that you do currently. So this is one aspect that you're adding to your current life. So make sure you take your time to understand how this program works. And then once you feel you have the capacity, stack it, double it even to 2 courses or 3 courses, depending on your requirement. But the burnout, it's going to be real, but it's going to be fun. You're going to learn a lot of things. So don't get demotivated, be positive. And you get a lot of help from the students. We have a workplace. I think Marcus is going to talk about that. So workplace is a place where you get help from students. We discuss, we form groups, we form study sessions. So it's going to help you a lot. That's the one thing that I've seen among all the students.
No, that's great information. Yes, and I love it because it's coming. You're hearing this from, a current MBA, a former IMSM student, right? And so, Pano, yes, we will touch on the workplace, but yeah, thank you for adding that information because it's really critical to hear it coming from you. And so yes, great question. And we'll touch on that even more further down the presentation. Just quickly, just want to go over some quick facts. I talked about access and being a land grant institution and how that ties into the cost, right? And so our total cost for the program is under $12,000. This includes tuition and fees. Um, there may be one class where, I don't know, you may have to have a $15 some type of online, I'm not saying like a book, but maybe access to something, but it's very, very minimal. And so there, you don't have to pay for the program in its entirety up front. You pay based on your class, right? You pay if you're taking 2 classes, the 8 weeks, you pay for 2 classes. You're taking one class, you just pay for one class. And so I think that helps out from a finance standpoint as well. You can complete it as early as 12 months, but you have up to 5 years to complete the program. And again, it goes back to that flexibility. Different folks have different needs, right? Things come up, life happens. We have quite a few people that are working professionals that may have families. And so, do it at the pace that fits your schedule, your needs, kind of like what Pat was talking about earlier. And then we have 5 start dates, right? And so again, trying to add that flexibility of when you can start the program. So you don't have to apply now and wait all the way until August of 24 to begin. And so you can start actually in January. Anything you want to add, Padma, about the pacing and so forth? Have you or any of your colleagues had to like take a quick break and start up again?
Hello. Sorry,
Oh
I
yeah.
lost last part of your question. I didn't
Oh,
understand.
no, you're fine. So have you or any of your colleagues maybe had to take a pause while they were in the program and then kind of like take 8 weeks off and then start over again? Have you heard anyone do that?
Actually, I did that. I am currently, when I started the program, uh, I I took one course and then I took a pause because it was completely overwhelming for me. And then I wanted to understand how this program works because my personal life was impacted, and it took a while for me to understand, make up a plan, time management, proper project management. It's like a project, what we are doing. Studying is not easy going back to school after such a long break. So all it took me a while to understand how this works. And then it's always okay because we have 5 years timeline to finish a program, either IMSM, IMSA, or IMBA. So we can do it at our own pace. 5 years is the max we can take. So it's okay to take a break. We can always take a break and come back and then start the program from where we have stopped. And a lot of my friends also have done that.
Awesome. And did you, if you needed to, you had access to advisors to kind of work with
Yes.
you in terms of
Yes,
planning?
when I took a break, I took help of the academic advisor to make my degree plan, to understand my needs and how, if I want to develop. And I had the timeline when I wanted to graduate, and based on my requirement, my timeline and my the time that is available on my hand, based on my personal life. So they were able to curate my degree plan according to my needs. So I took a break for a while and then I restarted. So it all worked out. I took 12 months to finish my MSM program. And then I'll be graduating MBA in another 12 months. So 2 years with the,
And you have
yeah.
two master's degrees,
Yes.
correct?
I had
Awesome.
one earlier too. So this MBA is going to be the third one.
Oh, awesome. Wow. Impressive. Impressive. And here's a slide with our numbers. Like you said, the average age is 35, right? We have representation, within the United States, 44 states and 67 countries. Um, Pamela, did you interact, engage with any learners that were from, states that you're not from or other countries during your time?
Yes, this is possible because of the team assignments. Every course we have our team assignments wherein our teams are randomly allocated based on our timing preferences. So I had in most of my course assignments, I had my colleagues from China, Japan, and in my current course, I have my teammates from India, Japan, and one is from China. So we all collaborate based on that. We decide on the timing that we are going to meet over the weekends or the weekdays, and then we combinedly work. So it's even though it's an online program, that's the beauty of this. We have I have interacted with a lot of people from different parts of the world and learned a lot of things from their work, from their culture, and it's good to learn and work together.
And that's part of this global community we have here
Yes,
at Gies,
global community.
for sure. And then just to kind of, we always have questions about outcomes, and obviously Padma has had a good experience, and so as you can see, a large part of our students have great experience with the program. There's been, several students getting job promotions, pay increases, um, have you, and so there's definitely some benefits. Kind of ties back to Padma's comment about the return on investment, how you can apply that immediately, to your job. So just wanted to share some numbers. And so let's talk a little bit about the curriculum. Um, and so to earn your MSM, you need to complete 36 credit hours. On the left-hand side, those are the core business fundamental courses. There's 24 credits, and then you got the 12 credits for electives. And so, you can build your own elective track. These are just some examples. And so, the MSM is a little different than MBA, where MBA is a bit more, advanced coursework, and so that's where that 3 years work experience comes in. And so we get quite a few people in the IMSM, not all, but we get quite a few people who may not have like a business background, but we certainly have folks who do have a business background. They just feel more comfortable starting the MSM program. And again, you're going to discover those core business fundamental courses, right? And again, you have the option to, there's a flexibility there, right, in terms of electives and being able to kind of, drive your elective coursework. Um, and Pat, I don't know if you're able to answer this question, but where have you seen the most impact, I guess, of courses so far in your career, would you say? Or which course made the most impact in your career?
I would say the leadership and teams program, the course that I took, that had a lot of impact. Earlier, I was very introvert kind of person. I was not sure if I'm able to interact with the students, if I had any questions. So there was always a doubt in my mind whether is it okay to ask? Am I asking the right question? But when I finished the course, the leadership and teams course last fall, it made me realize there is no right and wrong, but it's like we have to take the initiative, we have to take the leadership for our own future. And that's where I understood that we all are equal and we should be able to come out of our inhibitions and then take initiatives. That course literally had a lot of impact on me personally, and that's where I went ahead and took a lot of leadership opportunities that came along, and one of them is being an ambassador and also take up the VP BI post in for the IGBA. So personally and professionally, it has helped me develop as a leader.
It's awesome. It's great to hear. And then also, I wanted to note about the I. We get a question about this a lot. It refers to this our method of delivery only. um, so this is I. The term I degree. We use that just to refer to all of our master's degrees that are delivered online. So uh, there's nothing else to it. It's just our method of delivery. It's not noted on your transcript or your degree certificate. So I know we get a lot of questions. It's online on our transcript, so it will not be noted on your transcript or degree certificate. And you will have the diploma from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. So it's still a high quality program. And so we wanted to make that clear because that's just not always the case at other institutions. So that's a question you may want to ask as you're looking at various programs. And so, like I mentioned before, the curriculum is online by design. And so there's two components. And Pamela, it's okay that I had you kind of talk about the different, what asynchronous component consists of and what a high engagement consists of.
Yes. Uh, Asynchronous is the Coursera platform. So courses are actually on two platforms: Coursera, which is asynchronous, and high engagement is on the Canvas, wherein we have the live lectures and all our assignments are uploaded. So we get to interact even with the professors on the Coursera Canvas part. So the Coursera is where it's like our textbook, wherein all the videos are recorded by the professors, and that is a must for us to finish the Coursera part to get our what you call credits from Coursera. Once we clear that, we can take all the assignments on the Canvas, wherein we have all the live lectures and the assignments uploaded onto the app.
And so
We
with the
can
high,
finish the Coursera part at our own. Yeah, sorry, go on.
oh, no, you're fine. You continue.
So Coursera is where, along with the live lectures, we have, as it is mentioned here, we have the videos, self-assessed quizzes and assessments, and the peer reviews, peer evaluations, wherein all these are needed to get the certificate, completion certificate. Only after that, we can finish our other assignments that are uploaded on the Canvas to get the actually degree certificate from the UIUC.
Awesome. Yes. And so with the high engagement component, typically the professor will host at least one or two high engagement live sessions on a weekly
Yes.
basis. That sound right?
Yes, that's where we have our live lectures. So it usually depends on the number of students enrolled in the class. So there can be either 2 live lectures or the 3 per week. And the same thing is repeated in every session because the students are global. They have curated in such a way they cater to different time zones based on the number of students enrolled from different time zones. And all the live lectures are recorded and then uploaded again back on the Canvas app. So we can go back and then check on the live lectures if you're not able to attend any of those sessions.
Great. Because I know there's students on here. I noticed there's one person here from Germany. Um, and like I said, within our our at least MSM program, how you saw there were 67 countries represented, and so to Pasma's point is trying to be flexible and to make sure they're trying to offer the live lecture at different time zones. And again, if you can't make it, it's recorded. But do you feel like there's value if you are able to make it to the live
Yes,
session?
one advantage what I feel is to making it the live lectures is you can directly interact and ask questions during the live lecture that you have with the professor. And we usually have the breakout sessions wherein there are a small assignment, small week of questions that are asked during the discussion in the live lecture that we can discuss with the students who are live attending live lectures. So I feel attending live is advantageous because we can interact with the students in the breakout session and even ask clear our doubts with the professors directly. But if you're not able to attend the live, the breakout sessions are not recorded, but the live lectures are available to view later.
And from my understanding, you faculty have office hours as well, and then there's
Yes.
also
Yeah.
assistants that may help out.
Officers are one more way to interact with the professors and the assistant professors. So those, again, they are curated for different timings. So we can pick up any one time that we are able to attend. And then usually it's on the weekends and even on the weekdays, depends on what time zone you are in, and you can attend those. And again, officers are not recorded. It's like you can directly interact with professors to clear your doubts or ask questions regarding the assignments that are due for that week.
Awesome. We talked a little bit about the curriculum, kind of like the class structure. We have a lot more to cover, and so I'm going to shift to kind of more of the networking, right? So you're looking at online programs, and we feel that the networking component is definitely critical to create community within the program, but also just networking. Maybe it's for career or personal reasons or what have you. And so there's a lot of opportunity within Gies online programs to get connected and to network, and especially in a virtual environment, right? We try to provide ways that our students can engage as opposed to just kind of leaving you out there on this island by yourself at home. And so, but you also have to put the effort in to want to be involved. And so, as you can see on the screen, there's a couple of Geese-led opportunities, iConnects, Immersions. We had the iConverge event, and then we have some student-led opportunities, which are highly engaged. And we'll touch on a few of these, but I just want to show you like there's ways that as a college we try to engage, with our students and prospective students. I was actually in DC, actually I think last week, to be honest. So much going on with travel, but last weekend we met with I think it was close to like 20 plus current learners in the Washington D.C. area, and so we had what we call a meetup. And so myself, the associate dean of graduate programs, Narissa Brown, and Rachel Boer, who's over like our immersions, our meetup events. And so we were able to kind of engage with students, and then students were able to interact and engage with each other in person. So it's a cool, laid back environment. And so we try to go to different cities and host these type of events to just connect with our current students. We have immersions both domestically and internationally as well. So I want to really quick, let me see, in the previous year, though, I want to just say this really quick. We had 25 in-person student meetings spanning 9 countries with 450 students and alumni registering for these events. So our students definitely, alumni came out for these events. And so, Prima, have you been involved in any immersions?
Yes, I did
That's
recently
what I thought.
in this September. Yes.
Can you talk about your experience with that?
It was amazing. It was a kind of I actually started missing it after I came back. It was 3 days of fun-filled time. There was a lot of information that was shared. It was informative, educational, and even fun. Felt like going back to our graduation days all over again. I met a lot of our friends, most of our friends whom I interacted just like this on the Zoom calls over a year, and then we didn't feel like we felt like we know each other from quite a long time, which was a pleasant surprise to meet each other in person. And along with that, there was a lot of sessions that was arranged by the administration for us to interact and learn and develop. I think the theme was what was that theme? Create your career or something. This year's theme. So every year the iConverge theme, yeah, it depends on what the administration has planned. So it was really good. iConverge was really very good experience for me.
We had over 500, yeah, students and
Yes,
alumni
I
attend
was one among
concerts.
them in that picture. The extreme right. Yes.
And that's a cool thing about the iConverge is the fact that once you complete the program as an alum, you can still come back
Yeah.
and still engage. And you're right, it was your career toolkit was kind of like the theme
Career
this year.
toolkit. Yes.
Yes, and there was an awesome women in leadership panel that
Yes.
it was so crowded that we had to actually have some folks go over to the room across the
Yeah,
hall.
it was part
And,
of this under my IGBI DI team. It was for the Women in Leadership Committee that was arranged by Women in Leadership Committee. We had panelists from uh, different women on the panelist, and we discussed a lot about a lot of things, and it was really crowded, and it was a quite engaging experience, and everyone really loved it.
yes.
Women leadership, yes.
And so they said we offer this like say in September, once a year or what have you. And so if you all join the iMSM program, this be a great opportunity to connect and network with your fellow online learners. And then probably touched on workplace a little bit earlier. And again, this is just another way that you can engage, with your fellow learners. Did you do like an introduction when you first started the iMSM program? Did you do an introduction on workplace, Padma?
I think I missed it. I didn't. As I
Okay.
said, I didn't know what to expect in the workplace, so I didn't do my introduction, and I didn't know how to go ahead with this app. So it was too much overwhelming. Once I got to know, then I keep bombarding with a lot of posts on the workplace now.
Yes, yes. And so there's various groups, right, within a workplace. I'm not on workplace, I'm staff, but I know for the students who are here, there's so many different groups, and sometimes people will connect with each other. It's like, hey, I'm traveling to this city for a business
Yes.
trip. Any learners are located here. Let's go, out to a restaurant or what have you. Is that kind of like the case? And so have you been able to connect with folks on workplace, like you said, throughout your
Yes,
journey?
I'm based out of Seattle, and I usually arrange for all the Seattle meetups here. We meet once in every 2 months. We interact. We are in touch with each other over a WhatsApp group, and whenever we have time availability, we usually tend to meet after every course, after 8 weeks course. That's when we are mentally relaxed without any courses. So we get to meet with the alumni and even the current student and even the students who are interested in this program. We tend to invite them to join a meetup with us, have a casual meetup, have lunch or something like that. But yeah, we are in touch with each other here.
And then here's some pictures of some, recent meetups, student meetups, in different locations, of course, domestically and internationally as well. And our students love to post pictures on LinkedIn or workplace or what have you, just about their meetup experiences. So great way to get connected. And kind of talk a little bit about, being able to connect with an advisor, for degree planning or requirements and policies, and you can meet one on one with an advisor. There's some express advising if you just have like a general question. There's open office hours. There's email support. So again, you have faculty, you have staff, you have your current learners, and then you have your student and academic success team as well. And so it's not like you're just going to be alone within the program. There are resources that are available, for our students. And so, and like Private said, it can be overwhelming, initially. And so what we've done is we kind of started like a foundations course for incoming students to just try to get them acclimated to online learning and to whatever program they're in. And so, Narissa and one of our staff members from our academic support team runs that program. So, again, just a great way to help you be successful in our online programs. So, I'm going to just switch gears, talk a little bit about the program, like the curriculum and um, faculty and how to be engaged and networking, things of that nature, and the support. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the application requirements. And so, as you can see, they're listed on the screen. With the resume, I do want to note that we don't need a 5, 6, 7 page resume. It can be a 1 to 2 page resume. Quite honestly, the thing we're looking for is like if your resume is matching what you put on your application, that's what we're kind of looking for, right? And again, there's no necessarily work requirement for the iMSM program. And so again, you don't need a three, I would say 1 to 2 page resume. Academic history, we need all your transcripts and our mark sheets as well. Um, the academic statement and short answer, personal statements, those are required within the application. There's 2 recommendation forms. And so within the application, you would just list out your 2 recommenders, their name, their contact information, most like their email, and we'll send the form directly to the email that was provided. And it's a quick form that they'll check mark, boxes where have you. Should take them, I don't know, 10 minutes or less. At the end, if they have an option, if they want to write a recommendation letter for you, they can certainly do so. And so I just wanted to share that. And then for international applicants, there's a TOEFL. There's different exams that may be required. However, there could be a waiver, based on your essay, or just some other. Thank you, Lori. Some other requirements and exemptions. And so there's a lot to cover on this page, so I won't talk about all of it, but just click on that link and it'll show you ways that you can actually be exempt from submitting any of these test scores just for international applicants only. The good thing too is there's no GRE or GMAT required. So if you feel like you have a really strong GRE or GMAT score and you want to submit that score, that's totally fine. You are not obligated to do so. But we will just add that as a data point within your application file. There is a scholarship essay as well that's within the application. I do want to note that the scholarship essay, if you don't see it in there, most likely the deadline has passed to submit the scholarship essay. Okay, and I think for a January start, that deadline has passed to submit a scholarship essay. One thing to note as well is we do have performance-based admissions. And so basically, what this entails is if the admission committee feels like, okay, this student did not necessarily meet the admission requirements, they're kind of like maybe right below, then the committee may recommend that you go through this performance-based track, meaning you'll take like 3 classes, you have to take them one at a time. And if you earn like a 3.0 cumulative GPA, have a B or higher in those classes, then you will automatically be moved into the direct program. You won't lose any time in the program, but you have to hit those benchmarks in the PhD program in order to finish up your degree. So I do want to share that. Some students may not feel comfortable going directly into the degree program, and there's an option to choose the performance-based admission track in the application. So just wanted to share that. And so, once you submit your application, we have a team of admission folks that will review your application to make sure it's complete, and they'll reach out if there's any additional materials that are required or needed to complete your file. And so, one of the last parts of the application review process is the interview. And so, for the most part, if everything is in, you'll be moved to the interview, which is about 15 to 20 minutes long. Pamela, did you remember your interview? Was it like frightening? Did you feel comfortable? once you finished the interview?
It was quite comfortable. It was not, I was pretty scared and was nervous as usual for any interview. I don't remember who took my interview, but all that I remember was the interviewer made sure that I was at ease initially, and then I was calm so that I can answer my questions with full confidence. Yeah, it was not much difficult, but it was all about me and my experience.
Exactly. And so just a couple of tips, just make sure that you have an idea of what the IMSM program entails. You want to have an idea like why are you pursuing, this degree program? Why are you pursuing a master's degree program? Talk about how you've worked in a team setting, overcoming adversity. So those are some of the things to think on when it comes to the interview. Um, and then quickly, just kind of want to go through the application deadline. So if you want to start in January or March, make sure you have your application submitted by December 7th. So you got a little bit less than a month to get that in. And then again, just talk about the quality, the vast network, the flexibility, affordability, innovative course structure, networking, some great faculty that we have here. And so just wanted to reiterate those points that we made here today. Here's our contact information. So if you do have any questions, feel free to contact us. The QR code is there as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we have just a few more minutes before I have to get off for the next webinar. And so, Lori, was there any pressing
Yeah, I
questions?
see one more question, yeah,
Okay.
regarding
You
the
got
stacking of, sorry,
perfect,
Laurie.
Padma. No, thank you. You can answer it way better. So go ahead.
So stacking of IMSM and IMBA, are there any courses that I will not be able to take in IMBA? You mean transferring the credits? Is that what you mean, Via? If you are referring to transferring credits from IMSM to IMBA, actually I was able to transfer all the credits from IMSM to IMBA. Because all the half of the courses part of IMBA are all part of IMSM. All the courses from IMSM are part of IMBA. So you won't be missing anything. All the credits from IMSM can be transferred to IMBA.
Yeah. So for the most, my understanding, you'll be halfway finished, right, with the MBA once you finish your MSM program.
Yeah,
So it's
sounds like
36 credit hours. Mhm.
sounds like she's more referring to will they be able to actually take more courses in the IMBA program, and with all of those 36 credits transferring, I think they're worried that they might miss out on some of the IMBA curriculum.
That's a good question. There's a possibility because there's only 72 credit hours that you can take. So for example, yes, you need to take the required courses in the MBA, but if someone comes in just directly into the MBA, there may be probably a little bit more flexibility in like the elective courses that they can take. From my understanding. Padma, anything you wanted to add to
I
that?
think for that, you have the graduate certificate option. Once if you are taking IMSM and then you want some courses from IMBA, but you don't want to be enrolled completely in IMBA after graduating IMSM or during the IMSM, you can always take those courses which are part of IMBA as a graduate certificate pro courses. And then when you're ready to do IMBA, you can always transfer all those credits for IMBA along with your IMSM credits. If that's what you're asking, I'm not sure, Young.
Okay.
Okay,
And then,
especially for the focus area. Okay, if you are thinking of mergers and acquisitions, which is not part of IMSM, yes, it's not part of IMSM. But if you are interested in taking this course, as I said, you can always take it as a graduate certificate course, and then only that course, particular specialization, or once you are ready, you can transfer all those credits from IMSM, and if you have taken the specialization, all those onto the IMBA. Those are still accepted.
and then the last question, are there career services available to learners? Does it go through advising department?
I'm not sure from the administration side, but as we mentioned, there is workplace, and we have a lot of people who are in different fields, in different positions from different industries. So a lot of learners are always willing to help you come up with any suggestion or whatever guidance that you need based on their experience. So there is always a lot of resources available on the workplace for you to access from the people who are into the program.
And then I'm going to provide a link to career resources for online students. And so there's a career strategy workplace group. And then we also go through like big interview, which is hands-on practice with mock interviews tailored to you, like your specific area of interest. There's like this app called VMock, which is for resumes, and then Handshake. And so I'm going to provide this link in the chat for you all. Oops.
Okay, John is asking for the workload. It depends on the courses and number of courses you have taken, and even on the course. If you are taking 2 courses, it usually is a lot of work because, as I said, it is fast paced. But for every course, you need to have at least minimum 8 to 10 hours. Again, it depends on the background. For example, if you're taking accountancy and you don't have any background from accountancy, then you tend to put more effort in that. But it all depends on your background, on your experience, and how many courses you are taking. But minimum 8 hours is per week is what I feel for each course, to finish your assignments, attend live lectures, have group discussions, team assignments, everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the questions, you all. We're going to hop off and so we can get ready for the next presentation webinar. Pamela, thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
Thank you for your insight as a current,
Yes.
previous iMSM student, current IMBA student. Thank you, Loris.
Yeah.
Thank you all
If you
for
guys
attending.
have any more questions, you can always contact me on my LinkedIn, message me directly. I'm willing to help and even schedule a session directly with you to answer all your questions. So feel free to contact me on LinkedIn.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all. Take care.